Hello and welcome to Jennifer Knatters. I'm Jennifer and this is my knitting and nattering video podcast. I do some other crafts too. My wrists are feeling better. If you're a returning viewer, my wrists are feeling better, so I've been doing more knitting. And it's been 3 weeks since my last podcast. As I mentioned, the last 2 weeks were school holidays. Excuse me. It is, I guess they call it the tatty holiday. The time for planting tatties in Scotland. So yeah, UK school holidays just happened and I had my kids home with me all day, so I wasn't able to really record anything, and it's already so dark at night. I do have some videos recorded in previous years at night in the dark, even with all the lights on, and it is still so dark. And time change was this last weekend in the UK. So now it gets dark really early, like 5 o'clock, the sun is already set. So doing these at night is not a great option. Anyway, I'm here and I've only got a little bit of time. I have to go get my kids soon. So I just wanted to start this and show you a few, sorry, I'm looking around to try to get this together. I'm just really rushing into this to start it. Today's the 27th of October, Tuesday the 27th of October, and I have a finished object for you. I just finished cat socks, and these are the kitty ankle socks, and I've already forgotten the designer's name. I just looked it up for when I posted it on Instagram, and I just duplicate stitched the nose and put the whiskers on. This one is intarsia. And I think the duplicate stitch actually looks a little bit better, but they're little cat socks and they are for my 7-year-old. And I think the last time I showed them, I had just started the toe of the second sock. These are in Opal solids in the silver and the purple, and then the pink and the green are West Yorkshire spinners, and then the black is just some embroidery floss. So they're really cute, and my 7-year-old will absolutely, sorry, I just got an email, so it scrolled down. She's going to commandeer these, and I knit them for her, so they're not really commandeered, but she's absolutely going to take them, and I will never see them again except on her feet, which is also where my second finished object is, not on her feet, on my husband's feet, because I finished a pair of socks for him. They are the Ensnared Socks by Hunter Hammerson, and those are knit up in Ripples Crafts Reliable Sock Yarn. And I always forget the name of the color. It is something like Heather Amongst the Storms. And it's got these lovely turquoises, purples, and blacks. The pattern of part of the sock gets a bit lost in the colors, but I mean, I would absolutely knit an entire pair of socks in that stitch pattern, but I would have had to have started at a larger needle size to do that, because it would have just been too dense a fabric for the whole sock to be that way. And I managed to finish those. I think I had already turned the heel and I was halfway down the foot last time we spoke on those socks. As I mentioned, I had hurt my wrists 2 times actually. I hurt them in September and I hurt them, well, just the one really. I hurt it in September and I hurt it in August, and both times it meant that I wasn't able to knit for a period of time. And the second time was so bad that I was honestly looking at my knitting life and being like, am I ever going to knit again? So I'm trying to focus more. Like I picked one project and finished that. Speaking of which, I think this top is another one that I have finished since last time we spoke. The shirt is a me-made shirt and the jumper is a me-made jumper since last we talked. And they go really well together. The shirt is a Montrose top. I don't have any pictures of me wearing just the one. Maybe when this is all over, I will go outside where it is quite cold, and this is a very thin t-shirt, and take a picture of myself that I could insert here. And then, so it's the Montrose top in some viscose that I had ordered online. I don't remember where I ordered it from. I don't remember what it is. It's the Montrose top by Cashmere. This is the second one I have made. The first one I did in a larger size with a smaller cup size, and it didn't fit really well. So this one I did in the smaller size with the largest cup size. The smallest cup size is a C, and the largest one is like a GH. And it fits so much better, except I was sewing it together, and it was only when I was done sewing the whole thing together that I realized the problems I was having. Like, the notches weren't lining up, but I thought maybe I cut it out too fast and the fabric was on a bias or something. It was only when I kind of finished that I realized I had cut out two different sizes, because half the pattern pieces I had were for the smaller size with the larger cup size, and half the pattern pieces were the larger size, and I hadn't switched them all out. I thought I had, so I just pinned it out and cut it and everything, but it turns out half of the pieces I was using were the old sizes. So the problems I have with this one, I'm reasonably confident, are because I inadvertently blended two sizes. So this one fits a lot better. I had, based on how the other one fit, I'd added some length in the sleeves and to the hem, and then wound up cutting it off again, because having more room around meant that I wasn't losing the length up and down, and it turned out to be the right length without having to add any. So I'm happy. I made mistakes in the shirt. Obviously the shirt isn't perfect, but I'm happy with my understanding of the sizing block and how Cashmere tops will fit me. So any top I wanted to make from Cashmere, I would do the smaller size with the larger cup sizes, because she does use the same block for all of her patterns. Yeah, so that's a successful make. And then this is the simple summer tweed top down V-neck by Heidi Kermar. I didn't look any of this up, which I've knit in Sublime Evie, which has been discontinued, and this is the color Plum. And I mentioned I've worked with this yarn before, but it was in an ice blue, and every time I wear it I am terrified that my now 3-year-old is going to get ketchup or tomato sauce or chocolate or something all over me. And since I finished it, I've been wearing it, and I've already put my sleeve on a table, and the table had ketchup smeared all over it that I didn't know was there. But you can't see it. It was this sleeve. Can't see the ketchup. Much better color. I mean, it's a better color for me in general, but bright dark colors don't show the ketchup. So that is what I need to wear. And those are my finished objects since last time we spoke, which brings us on to works in progress. And look at this. It is a Pusheen Pullover. I've got one sleeve halfway sewn on. I knit the back. I was almost done with the back, I think, last time we spoke. And then I knit the two sleeves. I knit them two at a time. And then I knit the front, and I did the gray for the body and the pink as in Tarja. And then I have duplicate stitched all of the brown bits and the gray bits and the little pink tongue. And then it turns out I'd done the tail in the wrong spot anyway, so I had to do a little bit of pink duplicate stitching there to make the tail the right shape. But look at it, it is Pusheen! And this is when I discovered I am not very good at duplicate stitching. Although the socks, where did I put the socks? The duplicate stitch nose on the socks looks really good. So it might partially be using chunky yarn, acrylic chunky yarn, made this more difficult. If I were going to do this again, I think I would continue to do the intarsia the way I did, but rather than duplicate stitch the gray bits and maybe the tongue, and then just straight out like chain stitch the embroidery. I think that would look a little neater. This is a pattern that was in Knit Now magazine want to say 2 months ago. Maybe almost 3 months ago now. It isn't quite as small as it looks. The sides are rolling in a fair bit. This was a supplement that came with the magazine. This is the extra small size. It's adult sizes, so I made the extra small size for my 7-year-old, who is of average height and proportions, but kind of on the slender side. And I tried making the sleeves shorter, so I did the increases at a faster rate so the sleeves wouldn't be as long, and then I finished them, and then the sleeves were still, like the sleeves were only that long, so I wound up adding in as many rows as would have been in the increases properly, and then there's a space where it says, you know, like keep knitting until it's a certain length, and then I still had to knit some more, so I should have left the sleeve shaping alone. But yeah, so this is my half finished Pusheen pullover for my 7-year-old. She is absolutely obsessed with Pusheen and she loves cats. So that's why she's got so much cat stuff. I'm just checking where I am on time. I've got another 10 minutes. I have hated working on that. It's the yarn. It's Cygnet Chunky, which is 100% acrylic. There are nice acrylics out there. This is not one of them. It feels really plasticky. I don't like the size. I don't like working with really bulky yarns. I didn't enjoy duplicate stitching with it. The intarsia was fine, but the duplicate stitching was not enjoyable. I am not enjoying stitching it up. I just have not enjoyed working on this. I was saying to my husband, like, this is probably going to be her favorite jumper that, you know, she wears until it falls apart and then keeps as a cuddly thing in her cupboard. And I'm always just going to look at it and be like, I didn't do a very good job. And I think it really is just the bulky yarn, the plastic yarn. From a distance, it looks fine, so we're going to concentrate on that. At this distance, it looks really good. It's a slightly softer pink than is coming out, but at this distance, it looks really good. Up close, it does not bear inspection, but hopefully no one will look that close. Having finished 2 pairs of socks, and I counted these as finished when I cast them off, and then I still needed to sew in a bunch of ends, I started a pair of socks for me, and I believe I showed this yarn last time. It's the Oyster Catcher's Beak and Feet, which is Ripples Crafts Reliable Sock Yarn again. And then this green one it's a Ripples Crafts Reliable Sock Yarn that I've had in my stash for a long time and have in fact knit another pair of socks out of. So this is just scrap stash. And I think it was something called Spring Green or Lettuce or something along those lines. And then Kate Atherley announced on Twitter that she would be leading a relaxed sock along. So this is the pattern that she's been tweeting out. I love this stretchy rib pattern, and it is actually even stretchier than it is at the top, and I think I might do this for cuffs in the future, especially if I want really tall socks, which these are. I'm knitting these. They're autumn socks, so it's going to be cold. You might get wind coming up your trousers, so you want warmer, higher socks. And I just think having a super stretchy cuff means it can go further up my calf. Ta-da! And I've turned the heel, and I've decreased the gussets, and now I am just going round and round. I've got this little cat stitch marker, which is, it's Jen's Creations. That's not the full name. Obviously I'll add the information down below. It's got little sparkly ears and little sparkly eyes, and it is this cute little kitty. And I really like these beaded ones because they're really light. They can be big but light. My 3-year-old has noticed the stitch marker. My 7-year-old fortunately has not. And so the fight to keep my stitch markers is ongoing. but that I put that in when watching the first, I guess, episode 1 of, I started watching Strictly Come Dancing because there's a Strictly sock along every year, and I've never watched Strictly Come Dancing. It is not something my husband has ever been interested in. We have a US version, but I didn't have a television in the US, so I didn't really watch anything that was on live telly. BBC iPlayer, now that my husband and I have given up on trying to watch telly together, I can watch it, and I love Strictly. I'm now watching all of the season 17 last series. I'm watching all of those episodes, and about halfway, not quite halfway through, but that's my stitch marker for what I worked on with series 18, the first dance competition. That's how far I got working on it. So these are my Strictly socks. They're pumpkin socks. They're autumn knit-along socks. They are basically any knit-along or make-along you can think of that's happening at this time of year. These socks are my entry. So yeah, those are fun. And Kate Atherley did say if you're not following the sock along on Twitter, she will release it as a paid pattern later. And now it's been tested by however many people have been playing along. So I had finished, I hadn't done the sleeves yet, and I had more ends to weave in, but I couldn't handle the plasticky, bulky yarn anymore. So I cast on this, which is really hard to see because it's on a small needle, which makes the little rounds go round and round and round. But this is a flax light for my 3-year-old, which has little neon splodges. This is a merino DK. It seems like a light DK to me, so I'm treating it like a sport weight because I had, the ball band was a little unspecific. It is, like the ball band says it's a merino DK, but it was a little less than specific. And I'd knit something up with before trying to use it, and the gauge wasn't coming out the way I wanted a DK to come out. So I'm treating it like a sport. I'm just making this a little big, and the disappointment for me with this yarn is that the color progression is pink, purple, orange, green, yellow. They do look different. And sorry, orange, yellow, green, blue, pink, purple. The pink and the purple should be switched. That only shows up if you're knitting, if you can see the colors stack vertically like they are in the collar. You can't see it in the body because the colors are just all mixed together. But I really like this as a gray jumper with these little neon flashes where if she gets paint or something on her jumper, you will never, ever, 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 ever notice. You can see how it looks different. There's a little stockinette band. Sorry, the garter stitch band on down the sleeves. And I'm almost, I'm not quite, I'm almost to separating for the sleeves. And then at that point, I think I will have her try it on and see if it's looking like it's gonna fit. But yeah, on the small needles, this is just going round and round and round. I like seeing the little pops of colors. I love the speckles, the little rainbow speckles on the gray. I've got 2 balls of this, so I'm not entirely sure how much I'm going to get out of it. Here's what it looks like caked up. And so far I've used, I'd say 1/3 of the ball. So I think I should have enough. It may not be, I may do just like 3/4 length sleeves. My 3-year-old proportionally has a very long torso and then shorter arms, so I don't have to do as much on the arms, but I really should do more in the torso. So I think I'll see. I'm gonna knit this whole ball of yarn into the torso length, and then maybe go back and add the sleeves, and then go. Because having, I mean, for her also, like, she's usually getting mucky, so we have to roll her sleeves up every, you know, to wash her hands and to do things all the time. So having the sleeves be short is not a bad thing for a jumper for her. Fly. So those are the two things I am knitting on right now, the socks and I just showed it to you, the jumper. And then the other one I've been working on, and I was hoping to finish the whole row, and I am, there's my timer to go. It's my scrappy blanket. So I will go get my kids, and then I will see, it may be tomorrow or something when I finish recording this. Hello, it is now the following day. It is the 28th of October, and again, I have like 20 minutes to finish this before it is time to go pick my children up from school, because apparently the only time I can do this is right before I get my kids from school. But fortunately, last night I was able to finish the last square on my blanket to square it off again, so I can show you my Cozy Memories blanket. And we've got the pink, the blue, the orange, the blue and the orange, and then there's one more color further up are the only ones in this row. This row is almost all yarn from Laura, the Lonely Knitter, who has Crafter's Balm and has just started the Bumbling Yarns, I think is what she's calling it. And so she's doing little scrappy blanket packs, and I have gotten 3 of them now, and the 4th one just showed up today. So this row is almost entirely Laura's yarns. For the most part, I've been moving things around a lot with all my little minis and scrappies, but her yarns, I think she's just a brand new dyer and she's just figuring out what she's doing and what she likes and what she can do. Her little scrappy minis are all very different, so they kind of work in the row as it is. So this pinky purple, and then the blue I believe is Ripple's Crafts, and the orange I think is Lay Family Yarns, and then the rest of these greeny speckles, pinkies and blues. I love this, it's green, and then these are kind of navy but a little bit purplish, and then kind of a matte purple and beige into gold. This one is someone else as well. And then these last ones, I think this is someone else. Can't remember. But most of them are from the Scrappy Blanket pack. And so my blanket is now 10 by 13, and I'm working on making it 13 by 13. I made it 10 by 10, which was back here somewhere, and then I've just been adding the rows this way, and now I'm adding rows on top, because I kind of made it, I got to 10 by 10, and then I thought, well, let's see how much I need to make it kind of as wide as my bed, big enough to go over the sides of my bed. And that was about 13. I may add a 14 or even a 15th just to make it hang over the sides a little more. As it is, it's kind of one square on either side is going over the edge. So then I'm going to make it 13 tall. So I need to do 2 more rows. These are longer rows because it is the 13 instead of just the 10. And then I will see if I consider this blanket done for now. I've been weaving the ends in as I go, but not trimming them. But yeah, I think that will be a good size for what I need it to be now, and then I can start a new scrappy blanket. So that's everything for knitting, and then we can go to acquisitions, and the first one is today's bag, the October Scrappy Pack. Ta-da! I'm not going to show them all, but they're really cute and they're there and I'm very happy with them. And my 3-year-old very much enjoyed. We spread the blanket out on the bed and then she lay down and she pointed at all the different colors that she loves, which is all of them, especially any of the like really multicolor rainbowy ones. Those are a big hit with both of my children. And yeah, she was looking at the new colors and I had to be like, no, you have to go to nursery now, give them back. And my other acquisitions, I think, are all fabric. Just trying to get these out without making a big mess. I did get some yarn, but I can't figure out what I did with it. So, I've got some yarn. This is from Ducky Darlings. I just kind of made it fall apart. And it is a sock tube. And I actually bought this for my husband. And she added a little mini, coordinating mini to go with that. And this is a 72 stitch tube, and I'm hoping that I can make a set of socks for my husband out of this and have an idea if the 72 works, because I would like, I would love to get one of the little cranky machines to make sock tubes, but I don't really know which size to get because you can get 64 stitches or 72 stitches, and I think this is a good way to find out how the 72 stitch one works. So yeah, this will be a Christmas present, a surprise for my husband. So he can see. And then the other yarn I got is the sparkly Christmas sock from West Yorkshire Spinners. And I believe I got this from Wool Warehouse because I was also ordering fabric to make my Christmas project bag. And I got some little yarn related knitting themed ones as well. So I got this cats with balls of yarn and sheep in jumpers. And then I got, this is a border print and it is lovely. And this is kind of Scandinavian with the reindeer and the gray and the red and then snowflakes going up. So I got the border print, and then I figured I would do the gray for the lining and the red for the bottom of the bag and a pocket, or vice versa. Not entirely sure. And because I was paying attention, I got some cord to actually make, because the last couple project bags I made, I'm like, look, I left a channel, but I don't have anything to string through them. So yeah, this is going to be my Christmas large project bag, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And then I can make some little yarn themed, knitting themed ones. And then I went online and ordered, I thought it would be very nice, sorry I'm not looking at the camera, but I thought it would be very nice if I could make gift bags, cloth gift bags. So unlike the project bags, I don't think I'll line them, or if I do line them, I think I will do a winter Christmassy theme on one side and then a regular rest of the year possible theme on the inside, and then I can use the same bag, like now it's a Christmas bag and now it's a birthday bag. But I went to So Unique and I ordered a stack of fabrics. So I got some Christmas ones. And some of them are less Christmassy. This is a Christmas one, but I think it'll be just fine as a non-Christmas bag. And some gold snowflakes. And Christmas unicorns. My 3-year-old would love this. And then there's cats for the 7-year-old and bunting because everybody likes bunting. So I have 3 colors that are good for kind of any time of year. And 4 that are more Christmassy. And I figured I could do different size bags. I've already started ordering some Christmas presents for the kids and my husband. I ordered advent calendars for the 3 of them, and obviously for myself as well. A yarn advent calendar I got for me. And then I got some board games and card games. I don't think any of them are actually board games. I think they're all like cards and stuff. But games we can play together. Pajamas for the older one. Haven't found the right pajamas for the younger one. We have a Playmobil house, but we don't have any furnishings for it. So I'm getting some of those. I've started ordering some things, and I can make gift bags to fit those things in, and then they'll probably be fairly generic sizes to fit things in future years. But I also got some ribbons, and these are kind of all winter and or Christmas themes. Got some silver ivy vines, that's upside down, robins and Christmas trees. Robins are a symbol of winter like Christmas in the UK, and in the US they're a different bird and they are a symbol of spring. So robins in the UK are very much a Christmas thing. Red with trees. Oop, you can't really see this one. Let's see if I can. It is shiny with silver snowflakes. And then this says, I think I've tied it up in a way you can't really read it, but it's Christmas trees, and it says Merry Christmas. Or no, just says Christmas. Just Christmas and trees. And then she included a wee little baggie, and it has this gold Happy Christmas ribbon and a sweetie. So that was nice. And yeah, that is my I also got some Hiya snips. I got the ginger cat. I've got, I think, the blue one. I've got the blue cat, but the cap broke. But I like them as scissors. And then I also got another set of the Hiya 2.0 80 centimeter, because that's what I like knitting socks on, and I'd like to do some, not 2 at a time, but like consecutive ones. So I figured having another sock needle would help me in that endeavor to make sure they're the same gauge and everything, knit them on the same brand needles. So that's acquisitions. Let me just check the time really quick. I've got about 5 minutes. New with us was half term, and we didn't go anywhere. We didn't do anything. We just stayed at home and we went for walks occasionally. We do have the woods behind our house, so we can go for nice walks without really having to go anywhere. It rained basically the whole first week, so if we had tried to do anything, I mean, like in a different year, if it wasn't the year of coronavirus, we probably wouldn't have been able to do anything anyway. We don't drive, so if you can't walk or get the bus there, we're not doing it. And right now we're not really taking the bus there anyway. So yeah, there's that. My 7-year-old lost a tooth, one down here. So I believe that's 6 teeth she has lost now. My 3-year-old is very excited for when she starts losing teeth, and I told her she probably has to be at least 5. And she says, and I'm 3. And I said, well, how much longer before, how many years until you're 5? And she went, 2. And I think, you know, she was holding her 3, and then she looked at her hand and she went 2. And we were so impressed with her, because when you're 3, being able to do subtraction is quite cute, even if all you're doing is counting how many fingers you don't have holding up. But yeah, that was, it's the kind of thing as a non-parent where you're like, and But when you know the kid and you're like, yay, you just figured it out for the first time, that was kind of special. We made pizza, which was really fun. We actually just did this over the weekend. We made the dough and then I froze it and then got it out and defrosted it. So we made the pizza last night and it was so yummy and the kids had so much fun. And if you have the dough made, it is really quick and easy. You know, like 10 minutes to roll out. Well, they're little, so it took them like 10 minutes to roll out their pizza doughs while the oven was preheating, that's the thing. And they squished out their dough and I tried to show them how to do the toss it up in the air thing. And then we giggled a lot as, you know, like you throw it up in the air and then you're like, oh no, pizza dough, and you have to catch it. So put toppings on them and then baked them, and that's 10-12 minutes, and then we got to eat really yummy pizzas. So I think that was a very successful thing to do with the kids, and we should absolutely do that more. And since we bought enough toppings that we still have a whole bunch, I think we can do it again. We'll do it later this week, make more pizza dough and make more pizzas. They're back in school just this week, and they're both very happy to be back. They're both happy to see their friends again and get to play. And they did school pictures yesterday, and I asked them for a dramatic reenactment because they said they were cuddling and I couldn't quite picture what they were doing. So they did a dramatic reenactment where the 7-year-old sat down on a stool and then the 3-year-old sat down in her lap facing her, and they did this whole big cuddle. And I was just like, oh my goodness, if these pictures, like I can't imagine that I'm not going to love these pictures. I think maybe if they're like, that's the only reason I might possibly not want to buy the pictures. But yeah, they're just going to look so cute together. And then today is individual picture day, so I had to dress them up the same. Like I had to dress them up again. So yeah, the 3-year-old did get to do her individual pictures yesterday. The nursery did individual pictures the same day as the family pictures. I have no idea how any of this works because I've never gone to a school where they did family pictures. I don't know how they coordinate having both kids at the same time, or if they just kind of send all the kids with siblings down at the same time and then sort them out, because that doesn't seem like it would work this year since they're trying to keep the kids in like class bubbles. But anyway, they did their group pictures, their family pictures yesterday, and then the 7-year-old has individual pictures today. And yeah, we're doing well. We are happy and healthy and doing as well as anyone can in this time. As I mentioned before, being stuck at home is not a huge hardship for us. We are homebodies anyway. We have a large home. We have a large garden. Even when it's pouring rain outside, we kind of just did all right. So yeah, I hope you are doing well, and I hope as we go into another kind of lockdown season, as it's getting colder, I hope you're able to continue to do well, and I will talk to you probably in 2 weeks. Thank you. Bye.